Welcome back to English from A to Z, English in real life. Today we have something really special. We're going to dive into a story that I think so many of you are going to recognize in yourselves. It's all about that journey from being terrified to speak English to feeling totally free. We're going to follow a real-life guide that shows us how to get from being frozen with anxiety to speaking with real confidence.
Seriously, have you ever been in a situation where you had to speak English and suddenly your mind just goes completely blank? It's this powerful, almost physical reaction, and trust me, you are not alone in feeling this. Wow, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Your heart starts hammering in your chest. You're trying to listen, but the words are just flying past you, way too fast. And your mouth feels like it's full of cotton. It's such a frustrating feeling. But the good news? It doesn't have to be this way forever.
So, let's talk about someone named John. John's story is probably a lot like yours. For years, he knew just enough English to get by. The basics. But deep down, he was stuck, and he was dreaming of so much more.
See, John didn't just want to know English words. He wanted to truly live in the language. He wanted to have real, meaningful conversations, to finally understand people when they speak in a normal, fast pace. He dreamed of traveling, of watching movies without subtitles, of actually living and thinking in English. But for the longest time, fear just held him back.
And then, a turning point. He met a new teacher, Sarah. And she didn't come in with a bunch of complicated grammar charts. Instead, she gave him one single powerful idea that completely changed how he saw everything.
This was it. English is a bridge. It's not just a subject you have to study and get perfect grades in. No, it's a tool. It's a bridge that's designed to connect you to other people, to new cultures, new ideas, new friends. And for John, this simple metaphor, well, it shifted everything.
Okay, so look at this contrast, because it's so important. The old way, where most of us start, is all about memorizing rules and being absolutely terrified of making a mistake. But the bridge way, it's all about connection. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to communicate. And mistakes, they're not failures. They are literally the stones you use to build that bridge.
So, armed with this new mindset, John was ready for the next step. Sarah gave him a practical toolkit, 3 simple but incredibly powerful techniques for building skills that actually work in the real world.
First up, reading for vocabulary. Look, we've all tried memorizing long lists of words, right? It just doesn't work that well. Why? No context. Reading lets your brain soak up new words naturally because you see them being used in real sentences. And the method is so simple and stress-free. First, pick something you actually enjoy reading, and make sure it's easy. When you see a new word, don't stop and stress about it. Just do a quick check in the dictionary, then keep on reading. Your brain will start to remember it naturally through repetition. No flashcards required. Okay, next tool, shadowing. I love this one. Think of it like going to the gym, but for your mouth. You're literally training the muscles in your lips, your tongue, and your jaw to make all those new English sounds correctly. And here's how you do it. You just listen to a native speaker, a short clip is fine, and you repeat what they say right after them. You're trying to follow their voice like a shadow, copying the rhythm and the melody of their speech. And listen, the goal is not to be perfect. It's just to be clear and build that muscle memory.
The final tool in the kit is active listening. This is an exercise for your ears. Understanding fast speech isn't some kind of magic talent. It's a skill you build by training your brain every single day to get used to the speed and rhythm of real English.
The secret weapon here is repetition. Find some short, easy audio and listen to it again and again and again. Seriously, like 5 to 10 times. Start with subtitles on so you can connect the sounds to the words. Then be brave. Turn the subtitles off and challenge your ears. You'll be amazed at how much more you understand each time.
So John had the right mindset.
and he had the right tools. But the real magic, the real transformation, that happened when he started taking action. Because confidence isn't something you just wait for. It's something you build, one small, real-world victory at a time. And his first big win didn't happen in a classroom. It happened on the street. He helped a lost tourist find the train station. It was just a simple, maybe 2-minute conversation, but that feeling of actually helping someone, that proved to him that his English had a real purpose.
His next small victory, he took a little risk at his job in a cafe. Instead of just taking the order, he started asking customers, "How was your day?" It was small, but it turned a simple transaction into a moment of human connection. And with every little chat, his fear got smaller and his confidence got bigger. And all of this, all these small actions, they led up to a huge moment. John stood up and spoke for 2 full minutes in front of his entire class. The same guy who used to freeze up was now sharing his story. Why? Because all those tiny, daily actions built this incredibly powerful foundation of confidence. This quote from his teacher became his mantra. It was the bedrock of everything. Every single time he stumbled over a word or used the wrong tense, he would just remember this. Mistakes weren't a sign he was failing. No way. They were proof that he was trying, that he was in the arena, learning and growing. It totally changed his relationship with making mistakes. And after a while, something shifted for John. He wasn't just studying English anymore. He was starting to live in it. He began weaving it into the fabric of his everyday life until it wasn't just a skill, it was part of who he was. And he did it with these simple, daily habits. He'd start thinking in English while waiting for the bus. He changed his phone's language settings. He'd read a few pages of an English book before bed. He'd even speak to himself in the mirror. None of these are huge, scary tasks, right? But together, they created this immersive world where English just started to feel natural. And this, right here, is the ultimate result of his journey. For John, learning English wasn't the end goal. It was the key that unlocked a brand new life, a life with more connections, more opportunities, and more friendships than he ever thought possible.
John's story really shows us that there's a clear path from that feeling of fear to one of freedom. It's not about being perfect. It's about deciding to build that bridge, one small, brave action at a time. So I guess the only question left for you is, are you ready to begin yours?